So the last few videos we talked about the course syllabus, but as this is a 5-credit course and it does include a lab component, I want to talk about the lab syllabus. Specifically covers some important details related to the lab experiments and experience you're going to have this semester. So if you click on the lab syllabus, at the top it shows the schedule you would have to keep if you wanted to finish all your work before the official semester end date. Shows some important lab safety points. So I'll just go through these really quickly. We mentioned them before. Due to COVID, you got to wear a mask when you're on campus. Try to maintain at least 3 feet of space between you and anyone else in the lab. You have to have protective eyewear anytime chemicals are open in the lab, and that's almost all the time. You have to cover your eyes on the front and the sides. You also want to make sure that your safety glasses mask combination doesn't cause fogging too much on your eyewear. So the goggles and the mask combined, or the safety glasses and the mask combined, sometimes that moist air from your mouth can come up there and fog up your glasses. So you want to test that out before you come in and make sure there's not too much fog for you to be able to see through your safety glasses. No food or drink in open containers anytime in the lab. We want to keep the ventilation hoods open so we get nice airflow going. And you got to wear clothing that covers all your skin, including your feet, ankles, legs, torso, etc. Each lab handout has some waste disposal and cleanup guidelines. So I'll just show you the lab handouts real quick before we move any further through this lab syllabus. If you go onto Canvas and you scroll down, there's a module that contains the lab handout. So if you just click on the first one, it'll look like this. So each lab handout has a little background information, and then it's not really a procedure. It's just a step-by-step, how do you get started? So the lab handouts do not tell you how to complete the experiment, right? It's not really science if someone is telling you what to do. Science is a process of inquiry and discovery. You have an idea or some question you want to answer, you got to come up with an experiment to test some things and get some data and to make conclusions about that. So the procedure basically just says, here are some of the things you want to think about, but you have to develop an experiment with help from myself and the tutors that will also be present in the lab, and with the other students that will be in your lab group. So the idea is here, you read the lab handout, you come up with some ideas on how to complete this experiment, set up some experiments, carry out the experiments. You'll plan that out with your lab group. You'll discuss ideas you have with me and the tutors. We'll help you refine those ideas, and ideally, then you'll be able to run the experiments and collect the data, interpret the data, and write a lab report. And then, as I said, each lab handout has waste disposal guidelines. So make sure if you have any questions in your mind at all about how to dispose of waste, you let me or the tutors know so we make sure we dispose of it properly. So if we go back to the lab syllabus here, make sure you completely clean up your space every time you come to an open lab and do any experiments, so you don't face any reduction in your grade that would result from that. So we're going to talk about lab group formation in another video, and what you need to do as a member of your group to contribute and earn maximal credit for your lab experiments and experience, which makes up 20% of your grade. So it's a pretty big chunk.